Hello and welcome back to the No Excuses podcast. My name is Anne and I live in Worcestershire in the middle of England with my husband Tom. Today is Monday the 4th of November and we're going to have a bit of probably a shorter podcast today because I don't have a lot of progress to show you, no finished items and no incoming. I might as well go, mightn't I? Oh dear. Right, as I say, Monday the 4th of November, it's a very dull day, so I might be a bit overlit because the ring light is literally behind the camera. So if I go like that, that's all you can see. I'm going to try and keep my head down as much as I can and my hands still. Anyway, what am I wearing? I'm wearing my house jumper that I wore last time. But it is cold and I've got my capelet on, which is this gorgeous, very simple poncho, short poncho. It comes to just below my elbows. It's probably about 15 inches deep from the neck. I need to knit another one of these because I wear this a lot at home. And I think because it's done in minis that were from the Zakami Advent, not last year, the year before, so this will be 2022. Because I've taken those colours and the minis and I've alternated two minis together. Well, I might have had the main skein as well. Anyway, it's from the Zakami and it's very, very random. And that I don't know if I'd wear it out because it's a bit random for me. I don't know. Am I that bothered? I can't decide. Anyway. But I love it. I wear it a lot. And that extra layer of the DK, it is merino, DK merino, makes a very big difference when you're feeling a bit cold, even though the heating's on. I think it's about about 2:30, 2:45. Anyway, let's crack on, shall we? Today I'm going to talk about the malls, and as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, the malls ended for last year, and I'll announce the winners in a minute, so you don't have to stay till the end if you're in a rush. But I'll just mention the two new ones that have gone in from the end of September, from any time from now on. And the first one is the annual one that I do every year from September to March or thereabouts, and that's the jump along. I'll put the hashtag on the screen for use on Instagram, but please always tag me as well at spaknits because I don't always pick it up. And what I found out the other day was I was using my laptop to put everything onto the spreadsheet so I could get a random number generator to choose the winners. And I found out that searching on Instagram on my laptop, and it's not really meant for a computer, is it? It's designed for a mobile or tablet site. But when I did the searches for last year's jump along, it didn't come up very much at all. And I thought, I know I've got more entries than that. So I used my phone instead, got loads more entries. So, because I was trying to find out what I called it last year. And when I did a search for the jump along the previous year, it didn't even recognise hashtag. So if you're running something on Instagram, be aware you may not pick everything up. It is dodgy, let's say. And you can see why a lot of people are refusing to use it. I saw Sandra Paul from Cherry Heart. I don't follow her generally, but I do dip in and out of what she's doing, and she was saying she's virtually ready to give up on Instagram. And you think, well, what's the point of having this forum of Instagram, etc., which is highly successful, if it's not going to work for you and work for the smaller people, not just the influencers and the young uns, those young uns. I'm having a slurp. It's coffee. Actually, with my ring light on me, my hair looks a lot greyer, doesn't it? Looks like I've got a grey halo. And I look like that when I'm in the hairdressers and I think, oh, I wish my hair was that colour all over. Yes, so we have got the jump along, and that is any adult top that is not to be worn underneath the clothing. Not the bralette, not like a little skimpy cami. It can be a vest. And have you seen Penny's new vest and Penny's chinwag? It is gorgeous. And it's really, really nice. And she could also enter that into the next one I'm going to mention, because it's done with two yarns. So the jump along will run till the end of March in 2025. And it's any adult size clothing, jumper, cardi, vest, tank top, whatever you want to call it, that's worn outside of your other clothes, on top of a blouse, a dress, whatever. Or just a short sleeve top, like a T-top or something that you've knitted, crocheted, and even, made, sewn. Anything goes. And as I always say, because I didn't do cane work at school, but you can include one made out of cane work if you want to. Other people did cane work. I had a lovely, I've probably said this before, but my friend Debbie made a cane work cradle. You can make a tray and this, that and the other. And it's like the very end of the junior part of the school, and I went when I was 12, so I went straight into the stream towards doing your O-levels when I went to boarding school. But Elaine and Debbie both did cane work before they started into sort of the bigger school. Both had been there from an early age. And Mrs. Wilson ran cane work, and you could have a tray, you do a bowl or like a basket, and then some people did cradles, and I had a cradle for years and I loved it, and I put my teeny tiny tears into my cradle, and I have still got the blanket that my mum crocheted when I was a baby, and I've also got an old doll's sized quilt. I must dig them out. I've got my tiny tears somewhere. I think she's in the loft. Her name's Michelle. And I think, and my mum will correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought my nana bought for me when I was in hospital one time. So I seem to remember the two appearing at the same time. And I love my tiny tears because she looked like a baby, and she was nicer than some of the other dollies that you could get that age. Yes, I know I've gone off on a tangent. Bear with me. But while we're still on dolls, my sister, who was never a doll person, but she got bought them because she was a girl, but she had one doll that petrified either her or one of my brothers, and that may be Neil, my youngest brother, because you pressed her tummy. She was only about 6 to 8 inches high, and she was called Teary Deary. Don't know if any of you remember her. She was a little doll, and you could put water in her mouth with a little bottle that she came with, and you pressed her tummy, right, and it came out of her bottom. But honestly, and no offence made here, but when you squeezed her tummy, her face got all screwed up, and it looked like she was more likely having a... Because, anyway, but she frightened one of my my brothers, I think, or maybe my sister herself. But yeah, weird doll. I love my dolls. Oh, I love dolls. Right, okay, let's return to normal service, and so that's a jump along. Now the other one that's going to run from now till the end, from the end of September when I last spoke to you, up to next year, this time next year-ish, is the double along. I can't say it, Sal. Your fault. It's the double along, but we're going to call it the double along because it's easier to put on Instagram. So again, I'll put the tag on the screen, or you can enter via email or Ravelry, and most of you know that by now, and you always use your preferred method. That's fine. That is when you're holding more than one yarn together, or you're working colour work. So, for instance, Penny from Penelope's Chinwag has just done the most beautiful vest in like a turquoisey blue colours in a sort of lace weight and a wool held together. I think one of them was alpaca and the other one was a Lana Grosso lace. It wasn't fluffy in the same way that you'd knit with mohair. It was just a lace weight, and the two look exquisite. And she says on her podcast that she keeps stroking herself because it's such a nice feel. And I've got my hands under my poncho here, so you can't see me doing the same action. But it probably looks like a pair of ferrets having a fight. Where did I get that idea from? I've just taken my tablets. I haven't kicked in yet, so don't worry. So yeah, and she said it feels so lovely, but it fits her beautifully. Absolute V-neck, very classic V-neck vest top. She had it over a short-sleeved polo shirt, I think, something like that, and looked really, really nice. So anything like that as well, as long as you're using two together, or you've got two or more, or you've got something like colourwork going on. So yeah, enter. All the contact details are below. Right, then, fanfare. Da, da, da. I can't sing. Winners from last year. I put everything on the spreadsheet, and then I sorted it in date order, from when the oldest to the newest. And then I did a random numbers generator from both. Haven't filmed it, forgot to film it, but you'll just have to trust me, I'm afraid. And you can tell that I've done it properly because one of them is across a lot of water again. And if I was cheating, it'd all be from the UK because of postage. But no. First of all, we have the Craft More in 24 was the winner on Instagram is Kathy Tobias Crafts. Now, I think I know you, don't I, Kathy? Have you bought a bag off me before? Let me know. And I'll put pictures, if I can get them from Instagram, of Kathy's cross stitch. And it looks like long stitch to me. I did a long stitch cushion years and years ago, of little girls looking in the shop window. And the cross stitch is a lovely cross stitch of a house, a scene, cottage. Get the right word in a minute, with hills in the background. So they're beautiful. Thank you, Kathy, for entering into the make along. There are some very, very nice examples of different crafts that people have done if you want to go and use the search on Instagram. And then the second one is The Bigger the Better, which has been running since the end of March when we stopped last year's jump along. And the winner for that is Janine from J&T, and Janine is in Australia. And I will put a couple of things that Janine put on Ravelry that were both more than 400 grams. The first one is the beautiful Marguerite blanket, and I'm putting that there because I love the colours and I'd love to have a go at that at some point. I think it's crochet, isn't it? And I loved it, just loved it. And then the other one, which is the entry that got pulled out by the random number generator, were two shawls that she entered together that ended up being about 450 grams. And it was a mystery shawl and the Cosico shawl, which was all done in one colour, has texture at one end and then a pattern throughout. And then she used some yarn that included possum. I'm not going to even remotely attempt an Australian accent. It's got a bit of possum in it, and that looked beautiful. And it reminded me of the thing shawl I showed you last time, or tried to show you, the green crest shawl that's in the contrast book, which that's done in double knitting, so that knit up quite quickly. So yes, congratulations to both ladies. Please get in touch with me to either confirm that I already have your address or to let me know where to post it to. And thank you to everybody that entered. I've seen some gorgeous things, as always. People have put in such a lot of work, and you always get sort of inspired. Oh, well, I want to make that one, inspired. Want to make that. Oh, I wouldn't mind having a go at that. And I'm always drawn to more complicated things, and then sometimes I regret it because it takes me so long these days. Years ago I probably would have done things a lot quicker. So progress, well, I'm not going to show you any progress because the only thing I've been working on, knitting wise, is the Adept jumper, and I've probably only done 2 more stripes from when I told you last time I had to undo it and start again under the arms virtually because I had some stitches that looked odd. But the thing I've mainly been doing is making the bags for the Stroke Association, and I'm nearly there. I think I need to, I've 2 cut out today before I came and talked to you, and I think that takes me up to 10 or 12, which I think is all I need. I might need a couple more, but we will see. And then I've got some pouches to make as well. I envisage, it's Monday now, you should see this Monday night or Tuesday morning, that I will be in touch with you by the end of the week if you have asked for one, for payment off you. If you change your mind since saying that, then that is not a problem. So, and they're all mostly a fairly decent size. I've had to do quilting on some of them because I bought the wrong wadding. I bought the non-fusible, so I've done a bit of quilting, very basic quilting, let's add. And I've even done a bit of hand quilting on one, which lucky person is going to get that then. But it is in variegated yarn, so thread. So, you know, it's not just boring old quilting, as if quilting ever looks boring. And speaking of Penny earlier, her quilt that she showed is just absolutely stunning. I'm going to go back and add a comment to her video when I'm on the laptop. It's much easier to type on that than on the tablet. And because it's just beautiful. She's added beads and quilting and, oh, it's taken her a long time, she said that. But yeah, just really, 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 really beautiful. Anyway, let's get on and what else have I been doing? Well, and that's it really. I've been making bags. I'll show you the bag I've been making for myself because I broke the needle on the machine last night. So I'm waiting for Amazon to bring me some Microtex needles, sharps. I've got quite a few nothing to do with knitting. Sewing machine needles somewhere, but I don't know where they are. So I turned the place upside down yesterday, couldn't find them. Tom found me some in one of my boxes behind me, but I know I've got a lot more than that, and these aren't Microtex, and I want to use the Microtex. I'll show you in a minute. Shut up, Anne. Show you in a minute. It's like my brain is working faster than my mouth. Do you get like that? Yatter. I'm yattering. Right, as far as I'm aware, and if you have contacted me and I've not seen it, then get in touch. But there was no interest in the contrast book, which is fine because it's a big commitment. It's a big book, let alone anything else. I thought I'd just send it to anybody in the UK for take the postage off, and I'll pay the postage if anybody's is letting that stop them from taking it off my hands. So I'll reduce it down to £20 rather than the £23 if anybody's interested. If I don't get a reply in the next couple of weeks, I'll just I'll post it to eBay and see if that sells on there. But I will be looking hopefully for a similar price, you know, because you're my mates, you know, mates rates and all that. What I didn't look at and see how much the ebook's going for, so I'll have a look and I might have to update on the screen what I'm happy to let it go for, because it's silly buying the book for more than if you can go and get the ebook, isn't it? So now we're all ready, and we've only done 20 minutes because I've been yattering so fast. Is incoming. I've bought an extension table for my sewing machine. Now, to me, at first glance, it doesn't look like it's going to fit exactly, but I need to try that out. Mom is going to go in get somebody going in her loft for her and get me some floor vinyl. She got some offcuts, and I need some. I asked her for some vinyl, and she gave me some Fablon, like Blue Peter. So no, it's not what I need. But it's my fault because I didn't say floor vinyl. I've got my current sewing machine. I've got my sewing machine sat on a piece of vinyl, and it's really easy for me to grab and move across the wooden table. I wouldn't be able to pull it just as it is because they tend to be a bit non-slip on the surface they're on. So yeah, and when I've got that, I can put the extension table on. Yeah, and I bought the wadding from Empress Mills, but from Hobbycraft, but they didn't have the fusible fleece, and that's when I went with my mum to Webb's last week, and got to Webb's about 11 o'clock. Mum was already there. Well, she was waiting outside for me, and not one disabled space was available. We had to park right the other side. It was heaving. Now they did have a 20% off, 10% off. Everything in store, most things apart from concessions, because obviously Hobbycraft are within Webb's, but they're obviously their own shop. So, but I bought some toiletries and candles and things and took advantage of that. But some of them are so expensive. They're talking about £25 for a candle, and I'm thinking it might smell nice now, but I've no idea what it smells like when it's lit. I wouldn't take a chance on that, especially when you can go to M&S and buy a nice candle for about a tenner that's the same size. Anyway, I did buy some nice smelling candles they'd be nice just to sit on the shelf as they are, So I'm hoping they smell as nice when they're lit up. And that's going to go towards the tenner's presents this year. And I got a couple of toiletry related things to put in various gifts, but I wasn't as successful as I was hoping to be. But yeah, from Hobbycraft, got a couple of meters of wadding and been put those in the bags. I've nearly used it all up now. And then later in the week, I went to Waitrose with Tom, and that is very exciting. I don't get out of the house. Honestly, I've got to fight it. I've really got to fight my mindset about getting out and about, because I think about the aftermath rather than the pleasure it gives me going out with people. So I've got to get, I'm strong enough to cope with that. I just need to concentrate more on the actual doing, and it doesn't matter if I stay in bed. The other day I was in bed until 12:15, and I felt like rubbish, absolute rubbish. But now I'm up and, it's that transition bit. Anyway, I've talked about that before. Mustn't go on about it. In fact, I might cut that bit out. Then, what else did I do? Not a lot. Mum came yesterday, Sunday, because yesterday was my birthday, and I was 64. And Tom played the Beatles song, "When I'm 64." And it makes it sound, the way he sings it, you're going to be virtually decrepit. And yeah, I admit I feel like that some days, but mentally, no, And bless him, he went to Waitrose and brought me almond croissant, fresh. And yeah, but I didn't feel very well. I felt a bit under the weather yesterday afternoon. So my intention was to have a day of pigging out on rubbish, because I have been trying to cut down, not these shows. But I ended up feeling a bit rough. It did change, but I think some days when I'm taking perhaps more opiates than I should, but I do it because of the pain, then I start falling asleep. I can't drive like that, can I? I think it's because I'm relaxed and I'm knitting, and it's very easy when you're relaxed or you're watching something to nod off. I used to do it at college. So, and that's it now. Because it was my birthday, that's it, sorry. Just slow down. Because it was my birthday, I promised myself that I would open one of my 3 indie dyed advents. I've done an advent swap with Sal, and I have got a huge box sat at my feet ready for the first Sunday, the 1st of December. Then but also I've got 2 out of the 3 indie dyes. I've been so greedy this year. I've got a discreet unicorn one and the stitch and skein one, and I think I'm going to open the discreet unicorn because it's DK sparkle, bright colours, and I'm thinking of making a Christmas jumper with it. What do you think? I can't show you because obviously Tom said you could do a little short every day. I can't because everybody else will be waiting till the 1st of December. But I can certainly show you progress after the 1st of December, you know, as long as I don't get ahead of the minis that have been opened. Well, hopefully I've said goodbye, and I'll probably cut that bit out, but I was talking about my bag that I was making myself, and I forgot to show you. It's this thing here, this humongous thing here. I can't remember whether it's Moda or it's Riley Blake, something like that fabric, not Lewis and Irene. But I started making this bag and I don't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to fill it with Bosal foam. You see it sandwiched in between the fabric there. And it gives the bag structure. It's not fusible. You can buy the fusible one. At least I don't think this is. But I've quilted it anyway. And I wanted to I've had this put aside with the contrasting zip and everything in a little pile for ages now. I wanted to have a go at making myself a really big bag. And I was going to put box bottom in it so it would stand up, but I'm not going to be able to do that, but I'll show you why. So I started out by, I don't know if you can see, but I've quilted, I can't see whether you can see, but there are lines, diagonal lines going across there, and I attached it to the flowered bit, which I love, and the backing is that, you see, it coordinates all from the same set. Then I thought, well, I don't really want to start fighting with the zip and the Bosal, so I put another fabric from the same range around the zip, and I actually hand stitched the zip in because I tried to do a zip the other day and I was fighting with it. Don't know whether you can see my rubbish stitches there, just about maybe. But I'm happy with it because it works. And I went along like that and then I went back like that. And then I realised I was trying to... I had the ends of the zip stuck out either end, and I realised I'd backed myself into a corner. So I was just putting a tab end on there. I've cut the zip off, nylon zip. Tab end on there on yet another fabric from the same range. And my needle broke as I tried to go through 4 layers of quilting cotton, 6 layers of quilting cotton and the Bosal foam, and yeah, my needle broke. So I talked to Mom and she said, why don't you just bind it on the outside and then you don't have to, because it's for me, it doesn't really matter. So I've sewn the front and the back to one another now, so it's nice and bendy, as you can see. And then after I got the final bits, the last bits of the last fat quarter that I had from there. I think I must have had 4 or 5, and I've made binding, and I just fat quarter cut into where it's folded into 4. I cut along those lines, and then that's been folded into 4 too. And I've used bits of contrast it hardly seemed worth putting that on for the couple of inches I've gained. But as it happens, it's just going to be enough to go round. In the beginning, I envisaged that I'd be going round it whole thing and then joining up the binding, but I can't do that. I haven't got enough, and I think it's going to be much better because I've now compressed the bowsle a bit from stitching down the side. I can then put the binding on, hopefully without too much effort. But I have gone forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards with this. I've cut into the edging, you know. And so when I say a wonky bag, I was trying to do something different with this. I watched a few videos about how to deal with zips and things, and then went completely off-piste, as you do. Can you imagine me skiing? God, that'd be a laugh. But I will end up with a serviceable bag, not one I could ever sell. But yeah, on that tab there, I've started stitching, and you might be able to see where it stopped in the middle. I was going to go down one like that. I thought that'd be all right. And if I'd just done the one pass, then it probably might not have broken my needle. Anyway, it doesn't matter because I can start again. I'm not undoing that. I'm going to carry on from where I had the accident, and then hopefully by tomorrow I'll have my bag. I've just noticed a little bit of blue or green there next to the stitching where I've marked the diagonal with the heat resistant pen, and I think you need to be careful with these pens because it doesn't always come off. Most of it does, I'd say 90%, but then you get the odd bit. But actually, when I look at that bit that I thought was green pen I'm using on this one, it's actually the edge of a leaf. So yes, I've created my own method of making a big bag. I wanted to box the bottom, but I can't because of the way the binding is going to go around the edge. But this will be great, and I'm going to use it for keeping scraps in for my upcoming quilting expeditions and things, which I am starting before Christmas. I am. It's pretty though, isn't it? I quite like that fabric. Yeah, very pretty. So, despite what you saw before, right? Well, I'll cut it out anyway. I'm now going to go again. So, take care, please. I'm sorry I've spoken so quickly and yattering. Let me know what you've been up to. I do love to hear from what you're doing and how you're getting on, and you know, any progress, health updates as well. Got to be included at our age. Our age, young man. It wouldn't be so bad if I could do the accents. Yeah, I'm going before it gets too stupid. No, I haven't had a drink. Might calm me down. You take care. Thank you for all your interest and communications and birthday wishes and entering into the mails. Because without you, I'd be talking to myself. You take care, and I'll see you in about 2 weeks' time. Bye.